things that we thought might not have been possible, to get to the place where we have it within ourselves, to where there's nothing that has that ability to stop you. It doesn't have the ability to hold you back any longer. So one of those ways is to start to understand how to utilize a level of focus, utilize the challenges that you face off against, utilize what you have inside of yourself, and to ultimately overcome your own challenges. So let's go ahead and start looking at some of the ways that we can actually start to be able to do that. So we recognize that a level of focus is definitely important. An ability to answer those types of questions, that is it motivation, is it meditation, is it inspiration, is it reflection? So it's other people that see when you are focused to the point where the challenges that you take on, you start to overcome. When they start to see that you are focused to the point where other people aren't willing to go, they start to see that you are achieving things that others would not achieve, that you are giving yourself that ability, that the challenges no longer have a place to stop you. And so utilization of energy within oneself to understand that level of focus, to get to that place where the foundation is coming from within ourselves, to where the foundation is becoming the reflection on the outside, is to when other people start to see that what you are utilizing on a daily basis gives you the ability to have the upper hand on your day, you the ability to have the upper hand on your mentality, on the ability to have an able mentality, on the ability to utilize what you do have inside, because it's never about what you don't have. It's always about what you do have and what you do with what you got. And so how can we start to utilize this? How can we start to get to a place inside where we start to use it as a reflection outwards? How can we start to overcome our own challenges? So we have to start to recognize that the tools that we already have inside of ourselves are there for us. The tools that we have around us are asking us the question if we can truly use what we have inside, if we can truly use what we have on a daily basis, if we can truly use the challenges that we face off against so that we can overcome our own challenges. And so how do we start to focus to that point? How do we start to get those types of things going? By the ability to write stuff down. So when we start to write stuff down, it shows itself in front of ourselves. So the question that I was asked here was, what focus can focus be anything? How do you know when you have one specific focus? Is it let me go ahead and read the rest of that. Is it the same focus, and where can we can't talk verbally about it, but we all know about it? Okay, so I want to answer these questions. So it's you versus you. It's you using the tools that you have. It's you recognizing that when you sit down and you write stuff down, you start to use your brain to overcome your challenges. You start to use your ability to use the things that you truly have inside. Those things that when you're by yourself in a room, you think about. Those things that are asking you the question, when you find yourself writing something down multiple times. And so when we start to see this, and so when we start to get to that place where it becomes apparent, okay, when everything that you do in your entire day starts to become evolving around those things, that's when you start to recognize that what you're putting in place is there for you. And so that's how focus works. It works from you versus you, not you versus somebody else. It will come out of you when you give yourself the ability to utilize what you have. The universe will ask you the types of questions. Is this truly what you want? And so when you answer back to the universe, this is what I truly want. These are the challenges that I truly have. And so when you start to do that, that's why writing stuff down is so important. Because then you can utilize the positive and the negative there to turn it positive. As Newton stated, for each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So we can look at each action as a positive and negative. It's as simple as breathing: an internal breath, a center breath, and an outgoing breath. So make it simple. Allow yourself to give yourself that. Give yourself the ability to recognize that you are a tool in this universe, that the tools that you do have, you can utilize. So when you see that that is how it works, then it's unignorable. So when we start to use our gifts, that actual ability to use the things that we truly have inside, that the challenges that we face off against, we start to overcome on our own. This is what I mean by the universe moving things out of your way that are not meant for you, is that when the things move out of the way, the things that are meant for you start moving in your direction. And so because you see that you are a tool in this universe, that the universe can utilize the tools that you have, others start to see that the tools that you have, and they start to see how you can utilize your own tools. You can utilize your own abilities, the own gifts that you have inside of yourself to overcome your own challenges. That is when other people see you as a reflection of motivation. They recognize that as a reflection of strength. They recognize that as a place from within oneself to overcome one's challenges. And so when one focuses on that, they start to master those types of things. It starts to become a part of their daily path. It gives them a reason to wake up. It gives them a reason to continue to move forward, to focus to the point to recognize it is a liberation, to focus to the point where foundation becomes that, where those things that are in your place and in your way and the challenges that you face off against, you ultimately start to overcome. And so that is why it's important to actually write stuff down, to put it down in front of yourself where you can overcome those types of challenges. So what other types of ways can we utilize it? What other kinds of ways can we put ourselves in a place where we can do that? And so we can recognize that there's going to be positive and negative force in this universe. And so it's up to us to ultimately see the positivity in the situations. It's ultimately up to us to utilize what we do have, the ability to get within ourselves, to say that it's not somebody else that's going to pick me up, that I have the ability to use the tools that I have, the level of focus that I have, the universal gifts that I have, the ability to get to that place where these focus within yourself starts to become that kind of foundation. And so, yes, there are other tools. There's the ability to listen to positivity and the mastery you're looking to go towards. So this means if you're good at a certain thing, you're going to start to evolve towards a certain way. And so if you start to evolve towards that certain way with your focus, then you're going to want to study other people who have achieved that with your same level of focus. You're going to want to see other people that are achieving focus in the same way that you're looking to. This will start to show as a level of strength, as motivation. You can see this in other people that are actually going in that direction. They're actually utilizing the gifts that they have. This universe has given them the ability to where when they're asked this question, is the tools that they have inside sufficient? Is the ability to get within themselves the ability to overcome those kinds of challenges? And so that's why it's important to listen to positivity. It's important to listen to people that are mastering the things that you want to master as well, utilizing your focus in the right direction, giving yourself the ability for the wind to start working in your direction. And so how do you start to do so even when things are working against you? You start to recognize that there's always going to be opposition there. There's always going to be the ability for you to identify the positive is happening and the negative is because you are exactly where you are. So if you see that you are a tool in this universe and you start to see these things there for you, then you got to see that it's not you versus anybody else. As you using the tools in this universe of being yourself, your tools in this universe of giving yourself that ability, the tools in this universe of overcoming those kinds of challenges. And so this is why listening to positivity is so important, because these people that you're listening to, when you start to put these types of things in, they start to recognize that what they're doing is focusing, and what you're doing is blessings. What you're doing is you're giving yourself the ability to get to that place. You're giving yourself the ability to get that kind of energy by recognizing their level of focus, by recognizing their ability to get to the place where you want to master, to get to the place inside of yourself where you start to get down with who you truly are. where the challenges that you face off against have that ability. And so that's the reason why I started doing readings, because I started to recognize with that kind of mastery, I could truly help people out. I could truly help them to get to understand their level of focus, get to the place where they start to utilize what they do have, where they could start getting the energy flowing in the right direction. And so that is why I started to help people out and started giving out energy readings because of that, because the ability to utilize that level of focus is ability to use the tools in this universe that give us the ability to use what we do have. And so what you do have is what it's about. It's never about what you don't have. It's always about you speaking it out. It's about you giving yourself that ability for the opportunity to get out there, the ability for you to see what you're worth, the ability for you to use the tools that you have, that other people in this world will see the tools that you have, and this universe can use what you do have. It can use your abilities. It can definitely use your ability to be yourself. It can use you on a daily basis. And it's the person who recognizes the tools that they have that gets the job done. It's the one who recognizes what they got inside is a blessing. What they have is an ability, that they can get an able mentality to use the tools that they have to achieve their dreams, their goals, and the things that they want to do. And so that is why speaking stuff out is important. Putting yourself into such a way that what you have inside is coming out. What you have inside of yourself gives you the ability to liberate yourself. And so how can we start to speak things out in such a way? We can start to put ourselves in a place where the tools that we have start working for us. And so if you have the ability to speak, speaking stuff out. If you have the ability to listen, listening. If you have the ability to read, read. If you have the ability to get yourself in such a way that the challenges that you face off against you overcome. And if you can share that with other people as well, they'll see that level of motivation. They're going to see your ability to use what you do have is ultimately the most important thing. Your ability to use the things that you have inside. Your ability to say that I can do this. I can achieve this. That I can get to that place from the person that I am. And I am sufficient to be myself. I am sufficient to write stuff down, to speak stuff out, to listen to positivity, to put myself in a place where my mentality is an able mentality, where the challenges that I face off against, I overcome, to where I start to understand myself. I start to understand the things that I go through. I start to understand the challenges that I face off against so that I can overcome them, so that you can overcome your own challenges. And so that's what it means to have an able mentality. It means to put yourself in that place. It means to give yourself that ability. It means to see that when you're by yourself, that's when you have the ability to lift yourself up. It means to put yourself in a place where it isn't on somebody else. Nobody else can do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. You ultimately got to give yourself the ability to move forward. And a lot of times in the past, you might have been put in a place where the challenges you felt like you were not able to overcome them. What I'm saying is it's not about the past. It's never about what you faced off against. It's about what you're facing off against. And so how can we start to turn that into positivity? We can see that everything happened in a favor, happened for you, it happened with you. It happened so that you can get to the place where you are able to focus, where the foundation is coming from within yourself, where the ability to overcome your own challenges is there for you. And so what kind of challenges are we going to face off against when we start to speak our mind? What are we going to face off against when we start to write stuff down? What are we going to face off against when we are in a place where we are seeing these things in front of ourselves, where they're starting to manifest ourselves in such a way that the challenges that we face off against, we're not surprised in the results. We're not surprised that that is the result. And so that is what it means to get down with the foundation inside of yourself. It means for you to see that you can do this, that you can achieve this, that you can become that kind of light in this universe, that this universe does need you. It needs the light that you have inside of yourself. It needs the ability for you to be used a tool in this universe. And we need the tools that you have. We need you to see that you can do this, that you can get to the place where focus inside of yourself can become a foundation, where the universe can no longer crush you, but use what you do have. When the universe starts to use what you do have, the universe starts to work with you. It starts to utilize the gifts that you have, the ability to use the things that you have, the ability to face off against these challenges that, other people would just quit. And when you're equipped with your tools, when you're equipped with your mentality, when you're equipped with your ability to use the things that you have inside of yourself, then that's a reason to wake up. That's a reason to start your day. That's a reason to get yourself in a habit of having a foundation within oneself. It's a reason to get to the place where you can start to overcome, where you can start to become that kind of professional that you want to become, where you want to achieve your dreams. It comes from results. It comes from the ability for other people to see that. It comes from them seeing you so focused that it doesn't matter what they say. What matters is you know. And ultimately, inside of yourself, you know that you are so focused and so determined that the challenges that you face off against, you will find a way or you will make a way. And so that is where we start to go within ourselves. That is where we start to use this ability as a foundation, as an able mentality. And so when I'm looking to write stuff down, I'm ultimately looking to write everything down. I'm looking then to see how I can focus to see the positive and negatives in that, so I can start to turn those things into positivity, so that I can start to turn those things in such a way that the manifestation becomes a reflection, to where the manifestation of focus becomes that, to where what is inside is becoming the reflection on the outside, to where you dominate your ability to use the tools that you have, that the Most High, the creator of this universe, has stored in you. And so how do we start to get to that way? How do we start to dominate our own walk? How do we put ourselves in such a way that we are so simple, and it is so simple just to be yourself? So the way is you don't allow yourself to get involved. So I was read a thing is that controversial topics. You look inside of yourself and you say it ain't about anybody else. This is about you versus you. It's not you versus somebody else. It's always going to be you versus you. It's always going to be your challenges. There's always going to be that one person who's trying to get better, has better tools, has better abilities. It's always going to be about you. It's always going to be about what you do with what you got. We all see that one person at some point in our life who has that better thing. We all see that one person in our life who is asking us that question inside of ourselves. Can we do this with what we got? And so that's what's important. It's important for you to see you have it. You got this. You can do this with the tools that you have. You can achieve the things that you want to achieve. The universe can utilize what you have, the tools that you have, the ability to use those types of things to where there's no ability to stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. And so as we get to that place of focus within ourselves, as we give ourselves that ability, other people will start to see that. And so that is how we overcome it. Because the things that are not meant for you move out of the way. And so it's not about somebody else's world. It's about you mastering your own. You wake up every day, you start your day, you get out of your bed, you take your first breath every morning, you do the things to get yourself started, and there's nobody else that's doing that for you. Nobody else can do that for you. So it's ultimately up to you to be there with yourself. It's ultimately up to you to find that place of focus where you don't allow those other things to affect you, where they no longer can have the ability to overcome you. Fear is an emotion. Emotions can move out of the way to a level of focus. And so the one who focuses to the point where they can recognize that, where they can actually recognize that ability, that they can utilize it to that level, the universe finds a way to bend to the person who's willing to go straight forward with their dreams, with their ability to see it in front of themselves, to plan out their days, to put themselves in a place where they master their time, where they master their day, where they master their ability to be inside of themselves. And so that is what it's about. It's not about what challenges you face off against. It's about how you overcome your challenges, how you start to create a foundation where you're going to see the positivity in all situations, how you're going to see the positivity and the ability to utilize these situations, utilize the ability within yourself to overcome your challenges, utilize the ability to focus to that point where there is no challenge that you can't overcome. And so, see, it's within ourselves that the focus starts to heat up. It's within ourselves that we start to see that these kinds of tools start to work. It's within ourselves that we start to recognize that utilizing these kind of tools is a real energy in this universe. It is a real ability in this universe. It is a real ability to use the gifts that you have, that the universe created you for a purpose, created you for an ability. It created you for challenges that you ultimately face off against and that ultimately you can overcome. And so putting yourself in such a way that you focus to that point, putting yourself in such a way that you can achieve that kind of energy gives you the ability to see the tools that you have working. And that is when other people see the tools that you have, and then they start to ask you to let them use the tools that you have. And so the universe starts to give you things. And that is what it's about, though. It's about you seeing that you have what it takes. And yes, places are going to be secure, and there are going to be places that are not secure. It's not about what's going on around us. It's what is going on inside. It's what's truly going on in the foundation of our own level of focus, our own mentality, our own ability to use what we do have. It's in that ability to see that these things can happen for you. They can happen with you. They can happen through you. And so the universe starts to respond. It starts to ask you those types of challenges. It starts to ask you if those can become an ability for you to overcome. And so as we allow ourselves this, as we give ourselves the ability for this to be the place where we go, for this to be the place where we are, for us to have the ability inside of ourselves to where the tools that we have are being utilized. The tools that we have are being used on a daily, to where we're truly honest with ourselves. We're truly honest with our abilities. We're truly honest to utilize this universe in such a way that it starts working and the universe starts to test you. One of the ways that you know things are working in your favor and is when you can identify with the positive and the negative. When you could start to see that because this is happening, this had to happen. Because this had to happen, this is happening. And so when we start to understand this, that's how the universe responds back. The universe doesn't work off of good or bad. The universe works off of this is a positive and a negative source in the universe. This is the ability to turn it towards a positivity, to have the mentality to overcome our own challenges. And so, no, I was asked, have I ever served in the military or anything like that? No, I have not. I have started to use these things from the challenges that I have faced off against to realize that focus and knowledge is what truly exists, that the universe utilizes this, that understanding that you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. That is the reason why people started asking me to do light work. That is why they asked me if I could read the energy inside, because I focused to the point where I achieve the ability to use the gifts that I have. You also have abilities too. You also have gifts. You also have the ability to see that these things can be achieved, that you can find that place inside of yourself. And so that is what it's about. It's about getting down with yourself. It's about getting to the grind where the challenges no longer have the ability to overcome you. You have the ability to overcome your challenges. You have the ability to find within yourself that you are sufficient, that level of focus and the tools that you have, the universe can utilize the tools that you have. The universe will test you to see if the tools that you have work. if the tools that you have work in such a way that you are that professional, that you are that mechanic of your life, that you are that one in your life who has that ability to get to that place where the things that you are seeing are becoming tools, where the things that are happening around you are tools, where the tools inside of you have the ability to be utilized, where the person that you truly are inside has the ability to radiate outwards, where other people see the person that you truly are and have been all along. And so that's how we overcome our own challenges, with a foundation of focus, a foundation of allowing ourselves to use what we do have inside, a foundation of putting the things in front of ourselves so that we can see how to turn them positive, how to turn them in such a way that we have the ability to see that we have an able mentality, that we have an ability to see that it is available to us, that it is available through us, that we can utilize this to the point where we achieve that within ourselves. And so that is what it's about. It is about finding the ability to use the tools that you have. And you know, the greatest thing is each of us have individual tools. Each of us have individual abilities. Each of us have the ability to utilize this universe in such a way that it has the ability to utilize you. Each of us have the ability inside of ourselves to recognize that that is a blessing, that that is inside of you, that you can do this, that you can achieve this, that you can become this, and that ultimately the challenges that you face off against, you can overcome. That's the key, is that the universe will move the things out of the way to the one who's focused to the point where they want to achieve a place where others won't go. They want to achieve things others won't achieve. They want to do things that only they could do. And each of you have those kind of gifts inside of yourself. Each of you have those kind of abilities inside of yourself. Each of you are being asked by the universe on a daily basis, is this what you truly want? And some are just staying in bed. Some are getting up. Some are grinding. Some are putting themselves in a place where they're using their gifts, where they're using their abilities, even in a time when it's an ability to do so, even in a time when the ability within oneself is there, even in the ability within ourselves to focus to where our tools start to be utilized. And so when we are utilizing this universe in that direction, when we are utilizing this universe with that ability, when we are utilizing this universe with those kind of blessings, then it's not a surprise when blessings come your way. It's not a surprise when they see the result and others start to call you a reflection of motivation. Other people start to see you and they say you are a motivation. You are strong. You are the ability to see that what you have is a level of focus, that what you have is within yourself, that it is up to you. And it's up to you to overcome your own challenges, that nobody else is going to do it for you. It's got to be within yourself. It's got to be within you to see that you are an ability to be a tool in this universe. And this universe needs the tools that you have. It needs the things that you have. It needs the challenges that you go through. It needs the ability for you to be that professional in your day, your week, your month, your year. And for your things that you want to achieve to become available to you, with an able mentality, available to you to where you unlock them, where you have the ability to see them and they change around you because you are there, because you are a tool in this universe created for your path. You are a tool in this universe created for your journey. You are a tool in this universe that is able to get up and stand and to walk on their own, and their ability to be within themselves and to use the tools that you have. And so how can we start to get that to go inwards? We can start to recognize that that is an energy, that there is energy coming from this universe that is inside of ourselves. It's as simple as our breath. It's as simple as the ability to have an able mentality to get that absorption going, to get that place inside of yourself going, to get the ability for you to have that kind of heat, those kinds of challenges, those kinds of things that only you can face off against when you're willing to face off against them against yourself. When you're willing to face off against them inside of yourself, when you're willing to go within who you are, when you're willing to have an able mentality to see that you can do this and that you can go within yourself, that you can achieve that person, that those challenges no longer have an ability to stop you on the outside, because those things move out of the way for the person that you are, the person that you are on the inside, the person that you are utilizing that as a classroom, as you as a student inside of yourself, as you as the ability to get to that place of focus, as you with that ability inside of yourself to get down with the challenges that you face off against, get down with the person who you truly are on the inside, to where those focuses become an absorption, where it becomes an absorption and the mastery is on the outside from within, where what you have inside of yourself is as simple as your breath. It's as simple as being the student with that kind of energy within inside of oneself, with that kind of energy inside to start to break down the subjects within oneself, to start to get to the place where that energy starts to heat up inside of you, because you start to see the universe moving in your direction. You start to see the challenges that you're going through start to be overcome. You start to have the mentality that the able mentality is available for you, that it is working through you, that the process is there with you, and that you are a tool in this universe to overcome your own challenges. And so when it comes within, when it starts to truly go inside of yourself, when it starts to manifest itself on the outside from your internal absorption, when it starts to get to that place inside of you, where those types of challenges no longer have the effect over you, because what you're going on against is what's going on inside of you, where you start to become that kind of student, you start to master those kind of focus, that you start to get to that place where you have that ability. And so what does it take to get there? It takes an able mentality. It takes an able ability to recognize that what is going on the outside is being manifested from the inside. That what is going on around the outside is becoming the student to study this, to study to the point where those things prepare you, to study to the point where the energy inside of yourself starts to become sufficient, to where you are that student inside of yourself, to where you are that student inside of the person that you are, that you have that ability, that you have those kind of things, that it is other people that call you a reflection. It is other people that see the grind that you have. It is other people that see that you can do this, that you can truly go within yourself, that you can truly get that mentality to have an able mentality, that you can get within oneself and overcome your own challenges, that you are ultimately what you need is yourself. You need your ability to be with an able mentality, to be within who you are. And so how do we start to put ourselves in such a way that we can become a student of this? By utilizing these tools, by getting inside of ourselves, with connecting with our breath, with getting down with the energy inside of ourselves, to recognize that the light inside of yourself starts to radiate with that kind of mentality. The light inside of yourself starts to become an ability. The light inside of yourself starts to ask yourself, well, do you have the tools it takes to extract what's about to come? Do you have the knowledge inside of yourself to become extracted from that? Can you give yourself the time to be patient with yourself? Can you give yourself the time to observe and to be inside the classroom of you? Can you give yourself that place to where those types of challenges inside of yourself come from your able mentality? They come from your ability. They come from your ability to see that you can achieve light inside of yourself. And so recognizing the energy inside of oneself and how it flows is what a reading is. Recognizing the energy inside of oneself and how to utilize it. This is what a reading is. Utilizing the focus to get to that place where you start to use it as a tool within yourself, where you start to use it as an ability inside of yourself, where you start to utilize the energy so that you can strengthen the other energy that you have inside of yourself. And so when we allow ourselves to be that kind of student, and I mean really that kind of student, when we allow ourselves to have that kind of reflection, when we allow ourselves to have that place, when we allow ourselves to get down with that kind of knowledge, it's going to ask you the question, Is this student ready to learn? Is the student ready to start breaking down these energy fields? Is the student ready to start reading these kinds of pages? And this is what meditation is. It's self-study. It's the ability to start breaking down wherever you are. It's the ability to get down with the person that you are inside so that you can constantly progress. Your knowledge inside of yourself is asking you, do you truthfully believe that the tools that you have can extract the knowledge inside of yourself to where the simplicity of focus can be utilized to extract the knowledge inside of yourself, the ability to learn the lessons that you have inside of yourself, to go ahead and go through the chapters of you and the pages of you. And so how do we start to get down with those? That's what meditation is about. Meditation is a self-mastery. Meditation is a self-knowledge extraction from focus. Meditation is the ability to be within oneself and to liberate oneself from the things that other people would not be able to do for you, would not be able to do inside of you. And so that is what meditation is. For those who want to know what meditation truly is, it's a liberation. It's an ability to be inside of oneself and to overcome our own challenges. It's an ability to get to that place inside of ourselves where the reflection radiates outwards. It's an ability to see that you have what it takes to get down with yourself, to have that kind of mastery, to face off against those kinds of challenges. And so a lot of times, what we're looking for is inside of ourselves. What we're looking for is to learn the lessons so that we can overcome our challenges. What we're looking for is the ability to recognize that this is here for you, that you can do this, that you can achieve this, that these things inside of you can use the tools that you have. And the knowledge inside of you is asking you the same question. The knowledge inside of you is asking you, can you use what you have inside of yourself so that you can recognize that you are sufficient, that the light inside of yourself can radiate, that you can use your ability for the energies inside of yourself to use the energy in which way it flows, which way it works through you, which way it works with you. And so when other people see this kind of knowledge, when other people see this kind of study, they see a reflection of light. They see a reflection of meditation. And that is what the reflection is. The reflection of self-study is meditation. The reflection of self-knowledge is meditation. And so when we are utilizing this, when we are giving ourselves this ability, when we are finding this place inside of who we are, when we are finding this place inside of the challenges that we're facing off against, that we have faced off against, and we learn the lessons from these challenges, we have the ability to turn them into positivity. We have the ability to go back and break down the challenges that we have so that we can overcome them. And so it's the person who's willing to have the able mentality that achieves that level of focus, that level within themselves, that place where meditation has the ability to work through them, where meditation has the ability to work with them, where they can overcome and the things on the outside can become a manifestation from within. And so that is what it means to do a reflection from within yourself, to have self-knowledge, to have self-mastery, to have self-ability to use what gifts you have, what gifts you have inside of yourself. And so the last piece is when you start to connect these two. So like a student being inside of a classroom with a teacher, like a student inside of ourselves, we ask ourselves these types of questions. We ask ourselves, can we achieve it? Can we truly achieve being a student inside of the classroom of me? Can we truly go within ourselves to where we can connect this knowledge and this focus so we can see the tools that we have working in the universe? And this reflection of discipline, this reflection of knowledge and focus takes time. This reflection from within ourselves takes our ability to be our whole self, to use your whole being, to use your knowledge and your focus in such a way that this classroom has the ability to work through you on 3 points: on the ability to focus, on the ability to use the knowledge inside, to be disciplined to the point where your discipline shows out as a reflection, where your discipline leaves ripples in the universe, where your discipline has the ability to uplift other people from you being yourself, from you going through the challenges that you go through, from your ability to recognize that the universe is there for you, that it can work through you, it can work with you, and that you are a blessing in this universe. When you recognize this, that other people's days become lighter by you being there. When you recognize that you have it inside of yourself to achieve what you want to achieve. When you recognize that you can become that kind of light in this universe. That is when the blessings start coming out of you. That is when other people start to see you as a light in this universe. When you put your whole being into it. When you put your whole self into it. When you put your whole knowledge, your whole focus, and your honesty with yourself to utilize the subjects and mastery that you want to master, then you master them. You truly master them. And so it is a constant progression to becoming a reflection of inspiration. It is a constant progression to become a place of study. It is a constant progression to be the student inside the classroom with you. And so understanding that focus, knowledge, and discipline are a process, that you are that process, that you are that classroom, that you are that ability, that those challenges that you face off against don't have the ability to overcome you, that you have the ability to overcome those challenges, connecting with this person inside of yourself, getting down with that kind of light, getting to that point where you overcome those kind of challenges on a daily basis is what it's about. It's about you seeing how you can utilize this energy. It's about you seeing how you can utilize these challenges. And so I will start teaching meditation. I'm going to start readings, and I have a website, motivation, meditation, inspiration.yoga, all one word. And so if you are interested in these types of things, if you are interested in getting that energy to be understood, how to utilize that energy, how to connect that energy with yourself, how to get your knowledge and your focus connected to that point, how to get yourself to that place inside of you where you can achieve that, it is available. There are readings that are available. There are abilities to utilize these energies, to understand yourself, to get to that place where what you have inside of yourself can truly radiate outwards, where what you got inside of yourself can truly work through you, where what you have inside of yourself is there for you. And so that is what it's about. It is about you seeing that you can do this, that you can achieve this, that you can become this, that you have that knowledge and that focus, and that other people will see that light shine a little brighter, that their day can shine brighter by you being yourself, that their day can shine just a little bit brighter by you being there. And that uplifts other people to see you being you. That uplifts other people for you to be who you truly are on the inside. And those people that are not meant for you, they'll move out of their way on their own. Those people that are not meant for you, they'll see that what you have inside is there, and that you can do this, that you can achieve a light. You can achieve a blessing. You can achieve the ability for the universe to use the blessings that you have. You can achieve the ability inside of yourself to become that kind of light in this universe. And I'm telling you, when you light up this world, when that energy and that knowledge and that focus creates ripples, there's people out there that are, from what I'm saying, is that they can overcome those challenges, that they can get to that place, that they can find this kind of energy, that they can see that it is worth it. It is absolutely worth it within themselves. It is absolutely worth it to utilize these things, that the ability to use these and to understand these are there for you. So are you utilizing these on a daily basis? Are you utilizing these on a weekly basis? Are you utilizing these to the point where the challenges that you face off against, you ultimately overcome? I do hope that you all have a blessed day. As I go do a reading for somebody at this moment, I want you to recognize that you can radiate as a radiating light of inspiration, that it is available to you, that the Most High can utilize you, that the blessings that you have inside of yourself are there for you. I just want to say blessings to all, and namaste.